So I've been looking into facial exercises for the last year. So I've looked at this in depth, and I've also been asking my parents who are in their 60s to try some of this stuff as well, so I can give you a really in-depth result as to whether this works or not. So facial exercising sounds a bit weird, but it's actually a Chinese tradition that, you know, it's not new at all, but in the West it kind of sounds a bit strange. But if you think about going to the gym and you're working your arms or your legs or your back, you know, you're working muscles in your body, doesn't it also make sense to work the small muscles in your face? We've got hundreds of tiny muscles, so by working them and making them stronger, the idea is that you're going to lift your face and also make your face look plumper, because by stimulating the muscle you're making it grow as well. Now there are two ways to do facial exercises. You can literally just pull funny faces and kind of contort your face to use the muscles yourself, or you can use what's known as electrostimulation, where you actually have a machine that does it. So when you do it yourself, it's known as active exercise. When you use a machine, it's passive exercise. So we're going to start off with the first instance, which is where you can buy a book or a DVD. Now I'm going to start off with this DVD, which is by Carol Maggio, and it's called The Ultimate Face-Exercise. Now she is probably the biggest star, I suppose, of facial exercising in America at least, and she's written loads of books and she's travelled around the world doing this, so this is a good person to look into. If you prefer to use a book, you can buy one of her books as well, where the exercises are demonstrated, but I think you can see more from the DVD. You can actually see the movements, which I find more helpful. So this comes with a couple of DVDs. So the first one basically goes in depth to every single exercise, and the second one is for when you can do those exercises, you've memorized them, and it kind of condenses it so you don't have to sit there for half an hour. So it comes with these little cards as well. So for example, eye opener, furrow smoother, lip lift, and on the back of each of these cards it explains what you have to do. So like I say, what you do is you use your hands to provide resistance to certain muscles on your face. So for example, one of the ones that I found most effective was the eye exercise. So what you do, you put an index finger on each of the corners of your eyes, you squint like there's sun in your eyes, imagine like you're looking into the sun, and then at the same time while holding that you look upwards. Now as soon as you do this, especially if it's the first time, you start to feel this contraction in the lower eyelid. If you've never done it before, it's like, wow, what the hell is this? And you can really feel it. It's like going to the gym, you know, but for your face. Now you hold that for 30 seconds. That's the exercise that I found was really good for, you know, lifting the eye area. But the other exercise is good as well. This is a good DVD. As I said, I gave this to my parents who are in their 60s. They found it to be effective, but they what they didn't like is that you have to dedicate time to this, like at least twice a week. You have to sit there and you have to do these exercises for around 15 minutes or more. So they found they couldn't really fit it in, and they didn't really have the enthusiasm to do it after a couple of weeks. I personally just, you know, once I got to know the exercises, you know, I thought, well, I can sit there anywhere, like on a bus or on a train or while you're watching TV, and you can just do it. So if you think, okay, 8:30 p.m, that's going to be my block of facial exercise, whatever I'm doing. It's good because you don't need to buy any equipment to do this once you've memorized the exercises, but it's not the sort of thing you can do in public because you are contorting your face into strange expressions. So you would look like a crazy person if you sat on a bus and did this. So unless the bus is empty, then I wouldn't try and do this in public. So that's a good DVD. The next DVD I'm going to show you is Eva Fraser, and this is called Facial Fitness Made Easy, Your Guide to a Fabulous Face. Now this lady is, she was born in 1928, there's some images of her on here, and she actually looks amazing. So obviously this is a good advert for, that this is working. Now, I prefer this DVD. So you've got the DVD, and you've also got this book where you've actually got, it explains how each exercise is supposed to be done. Now, I prefer this one, Eva Fraser, because the exercises, they're stronger. What she gets you to do is to use your fingers to use as resistance against the muscle, where the first one, it was more just doing certain movements, but this, somehow these are stronger exercises, you can feel more. So for example, with a mouth one, she tells you to put both fingers behind the back of your mouth here, to pull your fingers out and then push against your fingers with a muscle here. So I'll demonstrate. It does look a bit funny, but so you do that for 30 seconds, you'd hold it. But hopefully you could see that that muscle was contracting, it was pushing against my fingers. You're pulling out your fingers and you're pulling back with this muscle, and that does firm the skin. It does. This does work. Again, it's not a miracle thing that you can do once and you're going to look amazing, because you need to keep doing it at least a couple of times a week. But this is a good DVD. Now, as I said, I'd recommend the second one for you. I found that more effective, but it's up to you. You can try. They're both around the same price. They're around, I think they were £12, and I got them on Amazon. So I think this one was a little bit more, but it's not a lot of money, you know, especially if you consider that you're avoiding any cosmetic procedure. This is natural, it's good. So the second form of facial exercise that I was speaking about is where you actually use like an electrical impulse to contract the muscle. So this is a machine made by a company called Rio, and it's called the 60-second facelift. Now, when I got it, I thought it was like literally you put it there and in 60 seconds you exercise your whole face, but it's not. It's 60 seconds per exercise, and there's about, I don't know, maybe 10 exercises in total. So you need to spend at least 10 minutes doing this. Now, these two electrodes here, you've got one positive and one negative. So when it touches your skin, it sends an electrical impulse through the muscle, it contracts the muscle, and again the idea is to lift your face by doing this. Now, I found this was more effective than the DVDs, as did my parents who are in their 60s, because it's stronger movements, and somehow you can just get to individual muscles better than you can by doing the DVDs. This is kind of I can't explain it, but it just seems like each movement, each contraction is stronger. Now, to get the pulse into that muscle, you have to put a gel onto the electrodes. Now, this is an ultrasound gel that they use in hospital, and this is like $5 on eBay. So you put this on the end, and then you put the electrodes on your skin. So you get the power button, and then this is up and down for the amount of the setting. So I normally use about 10. So you put this is the first position, so you put one electrode above your eyebrow and one at the side, and hopefully you can see that this is lifting my eyebrow. I'm not doing anything, this is doing all the work for me. So you leave this on for 60 seconds and it's stimulating the muscle. So this particular one is lifting your forehead. So as I say, you've got to do this 10 different positions. So this is the first one, and then you do the same thing on the other side. And then you would use, so you go there, then you do the eye muscles. So you put it under the eye, it kind of lifts the eye. Then you do the same on that side. Then you do the nasal labial lines here. So this kind of pulls this area up like this. Then you do above the lip and under the lip, and it kind of tightens this area here. You do the jawline here and there. Then you do under your chin, like for double chin, it kind of lifts that area there. And the good thing I like about this machine is that you can do your neck as well, your face and your neck, because some of these facial exercising machines are only for your face. This you can do your neck as well. So the neck positions are here, which kind of lifts this, and another one like this, which kind of lifts a little bit lower. So kind of the idea is it lifts these muscles here. Now, as I said, this is more effective, I found, but obviously you've got to have the machine. So if you travel a lot, or if you're going on holiday, or if you don't, you're not good at remembering things like, you know, replacing batteries, then it's maybe not going to be as good for you. But I found it more effective. So I'd just like to repeat, I'm not being paid for this. I've bought these with my own money, and these are my own views. So hopefully this has helped you. If you want to leave a comment below, that's fine, and please feel free to subscribe. My next video is going to be about radio frequency skin lifting, which is using a machine as well. So look out for that soon. Thank you.